Welcome back to WGIV 103.3 FM, the Soul of Charlotte. And for those streaming live at WGIVcharlotte.com, this is The Clever Artist, and I'm your host, Shirley Jackson. If you're just tuning in, we're discussing from hobby to business. First of all, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Jewel Tool, America's first originator of the see-through grinding and polishing tool. Their website is JOOLTOOL.com. Their toll-free number is 1-888-337-1230. Again, that is 1-888-337-1230. You can find them on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. In the studio with us today is Liz Gray. Hi, Liz. How are you?
Hi, Shirley. I'm very well, thank you.
You gotta talk louder, hon.
Hi, Shirley. I'm very well, thank you.
Awesome. That's better.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Now, it was really funny because I was reading on your business card today, and it says art, design, events, consulting, photography, and vintage. Do you sleep?
No, not very much, especially this week. I haven't gotten much sleep at all.
And you're a mom, too.
A single mom. I have two little boys, Logan, who will be 9 in March, and Liam, who will be 5 in 10 days. So
awesome. Awesome. I was a single parent for 10 years, so I can relate to that.
Yeah, it's not as glamorous as it sounds. I have a lot on my shoulders, a lot on my plate, a lot to accomplish, and I just want to be a really good role model for my boys. So
right.
They drive me crazy, but I love them to death. So
yeah, and I think every parent can say that at some point or another.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
Now, art. What kind of art do you do, hon?
Right now, really, I do a lot of graphic and digital art, a lot of design stuff, which I've really gotten into typography, and I love that. But what I'm most known for is public art and murals, and I'm getting into some really cool projects this year around town that I've never done before, like mosaics in public art form and sculptures. So it's a really exciting time for me. I've been into art for a very long time. Since about the 6th grade, I started studying photography in an art school in Florida, and kind of fell out of it for a while, lived overseas, had a couple babies. And when I came back home and I really just fell in love with my hometown again, I really just wanted to make it a really cool place to be and to hang out and to walk around, and I'm really glad to be a part of that. So with my murals in town, it's really, really awesome to see it all happen.
Well, I know one of the goals I've been having is here at Artistic Treasures, we have 80% of what's in here are artists, various artists that do different things. But the one thing is my goal is for this town to explode in art, and not just antiques, but also art, the visual arts and different things, and really get this town known for that.
I think we're well on our way for sure with that. Well on our way. Now that we actually have that core solid foundation of artists living in Concord and the downtown area, we're also getting art-related businesses now, and we're just getting a whole new group of people in our downtown. And there are several organizations, the Downtown Concord Development Corporation and the Cabarrus Arts Council, have been trying for many years to make this a very cultural, diverse place. And I think it was just missing a few things. And I think that we have those key components now to really just, we have a lot of Charlotte artists moving to Concord. A lot of Salisbury artists are moving to Concord, and it's just so neat to watch it happen because it's happening and it's happening fast. So it's really, really neat.
And a lot of people are surprised because the first thing they ask me, they say, well, are you from here? And I went, no, not originally. And they go, well, I can't place your accent. Where are you from? And I went, Oregon. And they look at me, and the first thing I hear is, where's Oregon? I went,
oh my God.
Hey, it's that little bitty state above California. The one you hardly ever hear of.
Well, Oregon's got it together. They have, bike share programs, car share programs. There's a couple that lives here in town they were living in Oregon for a long time. And they have the best ideas for creative placemaking, which is, what I've been doing and what's happening around here. And they get it from Oregon. So thank you, Oregon, for bringing your culturally diverse people to Cabarrus County.
Well, it's funny because those people, I mean, for us that have grown up in Oregon, we're taught to recycle. I mean, recycle everything.
Yes.
I mean, literally everything. Anything you can think of is recycled. And because of some of the towns are so spread out. I remember I had made a statement at one point that I grew up learning arts and crafts. My mom and the ladies of our church, and the reason for that was because we would have these church bazaars, and that's how we raised money to put a roof on our church and to do all new carpeting in our church, all kinds of things.
Yep.
It wasn't through donations; it was through a lot of work.
Yeah, the churches around here used to be very active like that. I remember as a child, my grandmother's church, she had a circle group. We're Methodist, so we have circle group, the women do, and they would get crafty and sew and make all kinds of Christmas decorations and stuff and sell them for fundraisers for the church. And, I feel like you really just don't see that anymore. It's like, it's all just like, hey, we have all these used clothes and furniture. We're going to put it in our parking lot and have a yard sale. And it's like, no, that just takes all the fun out of it.
Or the new thing is they will invite vendors to come in who sell different things. And, and I'm looking around going, really? Okay, well, I guess that's from my generation or whatever. But I was like kind of disappointed at that point. But I'm real excited about the different things that is going on. And I'm a firm believer that if I live in this town, this is a town I should support.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I'm getting to, is that just because I'm not from here doesn't mean I don't support my town.
Yeah.
And so, and it was really funny because everybody kept telling me, they said, well, if you want to interview somebody, you've got to interview Liz Gray. And I'm like, who's Liz Gray? And they're like, you don't know who she is? I felt like I was like an alien from another planet because I didn't know who you were.
Well, I've been here before, just so you know. You weren't here, but I have been here before. That's how my cards got on the table. I don't just send people out with my cards and put them on places I haven't been. I am very supportive of anything local and creative, and I try to drop in like wherever I can and meet people. And this is awesome that you're doing this. There needs to be, and I think it's going to be something we're going to see growing more in the area. Our businesses being rehabbed into artist spaces, which is like what Clearwater is, Clearwater Studios in Gibson Village, where I do a lot of my artwork and where I also reside, and my kids go to school in that district. So, what's going on there and what's going on with our downtown, it's so cool. And I don't know why everybody knows me. Ever since I was a child, I would go to the grocery store with my mother, and I would see like 3 people that I knew, and she'd be like, how do you know these people? You're like 8. And I'm like, I don't know. I just do. And I've just always been like a really happy person, and I just meet people. I have a nice smile on my face. I just smile even if things are just terribly wrong. I try and smile. So I figured that that's the best way for me to get by in this life and to make people happy and to make a difference and get done what I want.
I've been at Walmart, and and they don't have the cashiers like they used to.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Now you really they have 3 cashiers, and you have all these people waiting in line. Well, my problem is I get bored real easy.
Yeah.
So I start talking to the person.
I do that too. See, we're alike.
And then I talk to the person, and next thing I know, I got this whole group of people, and I'm passing out business cards, and we're all talking.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I went to the doctor's office here recently, and I had to have some blood work, and the lady that was drawing my blood, she looked at me and she goes, I know you. And I went, you do? And she goes, yeah, yes. She goes, why do I know you from? And I went, I don't know. I'm around town a lot. This is, I've been coming to the doctor's office here for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's it. And she goes, no, no, no. Oh, I got it. She goes, my husband and I rented a U-Haul truck at your store.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
And I've actually been in, what was it? One day we were in Sam's Club, and this guy walked up and he goes, oh, you're the jewelry lady. And I went, yes, I am. I wasn't sure if he knew who I was, but I'm like, yes, I am.
Well, it is a small town, and you cannot go anywhere without seeing someone that you know. Well, I can't either way. And my poor children, I'm pretty good about, I keep them home, and when we go out, we're doing kid activities.
Right.
I try not to drag them to things that they think are boring. They think art walks are boring because all mom does is talk.
Oh, okay.
So I try not to drag them into my stuff, and but if we're in the grocery store or if we're getting ice cream downtown and I run into someone, complete strangers to them, but people that I see a lot, they're like, oh, hi, Logan. Hi, Liam. How are you guys? And they're like, who are you and what are you doing? Talking to me, they're like, we see your photos on Facebook all the time. And they're like, oh, and like turn around.
Oh, no, Mom did it again.
Oh, they can't stand it when I take their pictures now. They're in this phase where they're like, don't take my picture. Stop. Or they'll put their hand in front of the camera. And I'm like, really? Because is it always going to be like this? Because I don't want to miss out on like 2 years or a year of photos of you guys. So.
Yeah, put your hand up there. Now, do they collect rocks? Or
Oh,
rocks?
yeah. They're really into rocks, and they're really into playing video games, of course.
Of course.
Which is a new habit, 2014 in our house, and I'm not sure how long it's going to last, but they like to be outside and they like to play with their friends. I mean, they are just hardcore little boys, rip holes in their jeans.
Oh, yeah.
Never can find a pair of socks.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I have 2 boys and 2 girls, and I have 8 grandkids. So
wow. So you know all about that.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I asked about rocks is because I do lapidary.
Okay.
You don't know what that is?
No. But I'm open. I learn things every day. I haven't learned anything yet today, so please educate me.
Lapidary is an art form of being able to take natural stones and cut, shape, and polish them.
Okay, I know what that is. I did not know the correct term.
Yes.
So, thank you for that lapidary.
Well, that's okay because I've had some unique conversations where people think it's other things. I'm looking at it going, no,
no,
not
that's
even
not
close. I'm not even going to repeat that.
Yes,
but that's the reason why I had to ask if they like, to collect rocks, because I have like bunches of rocks and different stones and stuff, and my equipment is here, and I actually have classes.
Oh, they would love that.
Yes, I think.
Oh my gosh,
awesome.
Logan would really. My oldest Logan is obsessed with stuff like that, and we go to the mountains a lot, and they collect rocks, so they'll probably bring you some rocks.
Well, see, there you go. And it's really funny because what I do is I have them bring in their rocks or their stones, and what I'll do is in the class we'll go through it and we'll shape and polish one, But what we'll do is we'll sit down and I'll help them identify the different stones that they have. And we'll put little labels on them.
Awesome.
So I try to help, and it's because a lot of kids, this is something that used to be passed down from generation to generation, and it's not anymore. And it's kind of
interesting.
Funny. Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's actually a lost art form for that reason. So. But I know I do some silly stuff on this show.
It's okay. That's sounds really neat, though. I'm really interested in that. My son would really enjoy that. He's very, very smart, and he is like a sponge. I mean, he's way smarter than I was at his age, for sure. So he would really enjoy that.
Well, I say that about my grandkids too. I have one grandson that is so smart in math, and I look at him and go, you didn't get that from me. I'll tell you right now. But
Yeah.
anyways, how can people get a hold of you, Liz, for any of your services?
Well, I'm really into Instagram and Twitter. They're my two favorite social networks. So it's at Liz Gray, NC, Gray for Gray. And then you can also just Google my name in North Carolina, and all kinds of things will come up. I've noticed in the last year or so. It's nothing bad, but there is a lot of really amazing press releases that have been written about me, and I have been very fortunate to get the right media attention and take it, progressively at my speed, because I could have done a lot of things media wise and PR wise when all of these things first started happening. And I was like, you know what? I'm too busy trying to make sure that this is going to happen and this keeps moving and that it gets done. And then I can worry about that stuff. And that's what I did. And so every once in a while, I'll get invited to do something really cool, like be on your talk show, which is awesome. And I would not have been ready for something like this, a year ago. So it's been an amazing growth experience for me, for sure. And then, I just love talking to people that love what I do. And I go to a lot of fundraisers. I'm big on women's rights, and I was raised that way, and all the women in my family are like that. So I go to a lot of events and functions, and people are like, "Oh my God, you're Liz Gray," and I'm like, "Yes." Why? What did I do? Because I've never had someone go, your murals suck. Like, I've never had that happen. Like, and I'm so scared that someone's going to walk up to me and say that one day. And so when I hear that, I'm always like, yeah, like, just like trying to make sure that it's for a good reason. And I had one lady be like, my daughter makes me purposely drive down Kerr Street every morning because she likes to look at the paintings. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that melts my heart. That's like what I want. That's like the main point.
Right.
The city asked me, multiple people from the city of Concord asked me, but when I was really trying to get this started, why are you so passionate about this? And God, you're really taking this seriously. You're really going to do this. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, you know what? It's self-fulfilling for me to hear other people say that they're enjoying it. I want to make people happy, and I want to be happy, and I love turning down my street and seeing the art. I don't think I'll ever get sick of it. Of course, I'm my own worst critic. And so I'm always like, oh, I should have done this, or I shouldn't have put that on there, or something like that. But, it's just been neat. And I've been really fortunate, too, to have a great team to help me, by the way. I would like to stress that. The only mural I've done by myself is like a 6-foot-tall flower. Everything else, I've had the help with other very, very talented artists from this area and from the Charlotte area. And I love to collaborate. So almost every piece that's up there starts with my idea, and then I start designing with another artist, and then we come up with this just amazing collaborative piece. And then we sometimes it'll just be myself and one other artist, and sometimes I'll bring a whole team of people in, and then sometimes there's a class. There's been 3 of the murals have been done by the Rowan Cabarrus Community College art department, led by my friend Jason Lancaster, who met or read about me in the paper or something. I don't know how he heard about me, but he sent me an email and was like, "You don't know me. I'm an art teacher. I'm
a
young."
stalker. No, I'm just teasing.
He was like, "No, he is very hot." Oh my God, I just want to stress that. He is a beautiful man. Beautiful man. He's like an angel that came out of the sky.
I was only kidding about the stalker part.
I don't care if he stalks me. But he he sent me this awesome email, and he's like, "You don't know who I am. I'm not really from around here, but this is what I'm into, and I just love what you're doing. And you know what? I want to give my time and maybe even bring my students into you to help you
Oh, how wonderful.
get really knock out some walls." Because I think had gotten like 3 done at that time, and my goal was to get 10 done in 1 year, and I got 13 done in 1 year. By the way.
Wow.
And so my goal was to have 10, and I was like, "Man, I really need help. So let's like meet and talk." And we emailed for a while, and then we met, and he's so quiet and beautiful, and his art is amazing.
The total opposite, right?
Yeah, but he adores me. He's so nice, and I wish that he was single, but he's not. And so we just did it. I mean, he got the approval from his boss to, the kids to come out there and to work, and the students to really learn. And the first mural that they did was in like January or February, and it was freezing. But he insisted. He's like, "No, I want them out in the cold, because what do the street artists do in New York? Do they just stop in the wintertime? No, they keep going." And so he was like trying to push that on them then. And then they've always been under some kind of stressful condition. Every mural they did. One of them was like a really short wall, retaining wall, but it was like a long L shape, and they all had to like sit scrunched over and paint the mural. And then the other one, there was no water, so they had to bring all this water every time they needed to clean their brushes and stuff. So those kids are big.
Our
great.
building is completely white.
I know.
If they
I would love to paint your building.
If they ever want to come out and volunteer to do a
Hey, we're looking for spring projects right now. I mean, because it's a great partnership. I've actually I've helped get a stipend set up for those kids for the art department, because a lot of the students that are very talented can't afford the supplies or things like that. So I've partnered up with a couple organizations in town, and there's a stipend specifically for the art department.
Now, what are those organizations, so if people would like to donate? I mean,
they've got plenty of money to donate, so I don't really want to say anything.
No problem.
Um,
We know nothing, by the way.
it's not bad. I mean, they don't normally do stuff like that.
Okay.
And it was, I kind of poor mouthed and was like, listen, you guys want people to come here, so this is going to help attract people to this area.
Yeah.
And, eventually my goal for last year was to put all the murals on a map and, get it digitized and put it up.
Yeah.
And I have not done that yet, but I am going to do it this quarter.
I'm going to put a bug in her ear going, hey, where's the map?
Because it would be a great map.
Yes.
So, and actually, if you look at a map right now, it spells out, if you're looking at the map of Concord, it's a big L. Where the way all the murals go. And it was an accident that I figured that out. I thought that was so cool. I was like, fate, right? It's supposed to happen. It's like spelling my name. So, yeah. So my friends are always like, well, are you going to keep going and do the I and the Z? And I'm like, well, I don't know if that's really gonna work out well, and it's kind of weird how this worked out, but we'll see. We'll see. I kind of have some really great spots picked out. I would love to add your building to that list. It takes a while to get these things organized and to get the artists and
hey, I understand, but I think it'd be really cool to because every time I drive up to our building here, I'm like, it's white.
Oh man, we can fix that.
I'm like, it's white.
I love meeting people that like that. So,
okay. But it's kind of funny because what we did here was, and I would love to see a type of store like this in every city.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh, there should
I really
be.
would.
Yeah, there will be. There will be. There's the designer malls, which are a little bit more driven to like designing, but
right.
I've noticed in the last year there's more artist booths in places like the Depot and White Owl, which is really neat. And I thought that was a big step for them. And I'm really good friends with Jana at the Depot, and she's just amazing what she's done over there. So, I mean, she was the only person like that for a very long time. So she's one of the original creators, especially in my neighborhood in Gibson Village at Gibson Mills. So.
Right. Yeah, I've met her on a couple of times, and when I first met her, I was actually in a wheelchair. I couldn't do a whole lot. So when I started my jewelry, I was actually in a wheelchair for several years.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
I hit a semi-truck.
Oh.
Yeah, he was wearing pink that day, and I just decided to run over him. No, I really did. People look at me and go, seriously, how'd you hit him? I went, I didn't see him. And they go, they start laughing. They go, how could you not see a semi? And I said, actually, it's really easy. I was making a left-hand turn. And you know how a lot of trees are up in the mediums? Well, I was making that left-hand turn, and he was coming up the hill, and I was driving barefooted in a little pickup truck with the clutch, and when I saw him and realized, I mean, my dad drove for 35 years, so I knew what the truck could do, and I hit the clutch with such an impact that I literally destroyed part of my heel bone and also the bones that connect the foot and the leg together, the ankle part of it. So I have a really nice brace that I wear.
You do. I had knee surgery a couple years ago, so I feel you on the knee pain. That was not fun.
Yeah, but I spent several years in a wheelchair for them to determine what they were going to do for me.
Oh my gosh!
Because they went in and discovered there was so much damage, they didn't know how to fix it.
That's always comforting.
So I tell people I'm the poster child for do not drive barefooted.
Yeah, I had a friend that I went to school with down in Florida, and he actually was wearing flip-flops and got into a car accident pretty bad, and the flip-flop had got caught on the gas pedal.
Oh, wow.
And so now I know you can't drive barefoot and you can't drive with flip-flops.
Yes.
So wear shoes while you're driving, kids.
Yes, exactly. They told me if I had been wearing even tennis shoes, the rubber would absorb that impact and I wouldn't have had the damage that I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Yes.
And save
Shoes.
your life.
And save your
Or
life.
save you from being in a wheelchair for
yeah,
several years.
Yeah,
You
for
poor
several
thing.
years. Yeah. So I met Jenna and had talked with her. And of course, I know Rodney from the White Owl. And anytime that people come into our store and we don't have the space, I recommend them to go to the other places. And I try to network as much as possible because I feel that that is a really big part of business is networking and being able to help other businesses